Welcome back to Open Window Politics. Today we're going to be doing a presidential election prediction between Pete Buttigieg and J.D. Vance. We'll start with the smallest state by electoral college vote and end with the biggest. So that means we're going to start out with the district here in Nebraska. Going to put that one into the lean blue margin. Nothing too crazy here. That district went blue in 2024. It's kind of the only competitive race that Harris ended up winning. And I think if Democrats can win it in a bad year like 2024 for Democrats, they can easily win it if the election were to be held today between these two candidates. So that's going to be the call there. Next up, we have Nevada. Going to do a similar rating there. Going to put it into the lean blue margin. Republicans have been hopeful about their chances, but I think that the midterms this November, it's looking like the Republican governor will lose his seat and that the governor will flip back to Democrats along with there's 3 Democratic members of the House and 1 Republican. It's looking like the 3 Democrats will do pretty well enough for the midterms as well as 2028, but that's going to be the state of Nevada. Next up, we're going to head over to Wisconsin. This state, I think Pete Buttigieg would be able to win this state and 1 more in the Rust Belt by a lean margin. We'll get to that second state later, but Wisconsin, going to put that in the lean blue margin. And then that means next up, we're going to go to Arizona. For Arizona, I'm less confident calling Arizona by a lean for either party. In 2024, though, Arizona did end up going to Trump by a lean margin. It was very impressive for what is generally considered a swing state. Arizona did go blue in 2020, has 2 Democratic senators and a Democratic governor. So it's very impressive that Trump was able to win it, much less by a lean margin in 2024. Well, that's going to be the call there. I'm going to give it a tilt blue prediction for Pete Buttigieg. Buttigieg is definitely more moderate. He has gone on Fox News on a couple of occasions, and he's certainly tried to lend a hand and reached out to independents as well as moderate Republicans, and then, of course, Democrats, the member of the party he's in. But that is going to be the state of Arizona. I'm going to put that in Pete Buttigieg's column. Next up, we're going to head over. I hinted at this state earlier. The state is now Pete Buttigieg's home state, the state of Michigan. Going to put that into the lean blue margin. And I might be willing to put Ohio. For Ohio, I think the national environment will make it go into the likely margin, and I think Pete Buttigieg and J.D. Vance would win their home states. J.D. Vance winning Ohio by a more significant margin than Buttigieg would be able to win Michigan, but Michigan is certainly more competitive than Ohio, so that's going to be the call there. And then we're going to head over to the last 3 states. We have Georgia, North Carolina, and finally Pennsylvania. I will start with some good news for the Vance campaign. I'm going to put the state of North Carolina in the tilt red margin. This state generally votes red. It hasn't voted blue on the presidential level, at least, since 2008. It has had Democratic governors, and it's looking like they're going to elect a Democratic senator this November in 2026. But I think on the presidential level, it's somewhat of a different game, so I'm going to call that state for the Republican, J.D. Vance. As far as the state of Georgia goes, though, I'm going to put that into the tilt blue. I think the state is more likely to go blue. It went blue in 2020 when North Carolina did not, so not too out of the range of possibilities. And I think with Georgia being called, it puts Pete Buttigieg over the edge at 284 to J.D. Vance's 235. And then the last state left to call, I do think the state of Pennsylvania is probably J.D. Vance's best hope of the 3 Rust Belt states that are the truly competitive ones, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, which is why I'm going to put it in a tilt margin instead of lean. But Pennsylvania is still going to end up in Pete Buttigieg's column. Now is a very favorable environment for Democrats, so I think this is a pretty realistic prediction. We can take a look. This ends up with 303 for the Democrat, Pete Buttigieg, to 235 for the Republican, J.D. Vance. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.